Welcome to Lore Hero, episode 26. This is our halfway point to our 1-year anniversary. We have been doing this for 6 months somehow, and we are down one person. We do not have Jason today, but we do have a guest. We do have a guest. Who is this guest? You might be asking. Why don't you introduce yourself, guest?
Hello, I'm Chris Vance. I am the guy who brought you through the Fire and Flames. I worked at Neversoft on Guitar Hero 3 all the way through Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock.
Sick. Yes, we do have Chris Vance.
I don't know if that's good enough for you guys, but
oh shit! Oh, okay.
You're good.
Sorry, I just hit my knee on my desk, and like everything just like started quaking, like the one
now we have...
near you. JP, that's
true.
That's just Los Angeles.
Did have an earthquake.
That's just California.
It did have an earthquake the other day. That's true.
Yeah, Minnesota gang keeps winning. No earthquakes here.
Yeah, no. So, one, it's a big honor to have you on our podcast on the wonderful Lore Hero, and just talking with us here, Chris. And long time no talk. I hope everything's been well, brother. But I think we wanted to just kind of jump in because some miraculous version of our beloved Guitar Hero 3 dropped mysteriously on the internet a couple months ago. No, was it February? Was it 2 months ago?
Yeah, it was February. It was February.
February. Yeah.
Getting close to 2 months ago.
Yeah, and we did have some questions just kind of potentially jogging your memory about
jogging for sure. It has been almost 20 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Don't say that. Don't say
2007.
it.
October 2007 is when we shipped Guitar Hero 3. So I mean, we are 3 years away from a 20-year anniversary.
It doesn't feel right.
Guitar Hero 3.
See, and that's
very wrong.
That's
insane.
Actually insane, and I can't.
But anyways, moving past that, we got a prototype build of Guitar Hero 3 released not that long ago, and that's the first prototype of Guitar Hero 3 that we've publicly found available. And I know that you were kind of involved with this too. When we found this, you were in Asai's comments, kind of explaining it a bit. You said that it was more of a beta because it was kind of getting closer to release build, but it was still very much not final, as we all found out.
Yeah, judging by the date that somebody said that it was from.
I think it was July, early July.
Yeah, so I could give you guys a timeline. My knowledge of the
please.
timeline of when Guitar Hero started development all the way to when we shipped. So I was not there when they started developing Guitar Hero. I wasn't there yet. But to my knowledge, I started on May 2nd of 2007, and I believe they had been doing development only for about 4 months before that. So that means, they essentially shipped a game in a year. A brand new game that they never actually fucking worked on. Absolutely.
That is pretty nuts, actually, yeah, when you think about it.
I believe it was about 4 months before that. Yeah, they made
nothing.
it from essentially... No, they had to make it essentially from nothing. I mean, they did have the Tony Hawk engine. We used the engine from Tony Hawk. We used QScript. We used a lot of the internal tech that had already existed. But, I want to be super clear. We were not allowed or able to touch any code or assets that were from Guitar Hero 1 or 2. Those were from Harmonix. Those were pro Harmonix. They worked out, I believe, don't quote me on this, to my knowledge, they worked out a deal with Activision where when they went separate ways, that Harmonix got to keep the assets and all the things to their work. So they essentially had to start from scratch. For making a rhythm game, they'd never made a rhythm game before, right? It's very different from a skateboarding game or Spider-Man or what was that? Demon Soldiers or whatever. Skeleton Warriors, right? So it was definitely it was a diversion for them. It was a different thing than what they were used to. So just a testament to the talent that was there at that time.
Yeah, because they put together a really good product in that, less than a year. It is the most iconic game of the entire series. And I don't think that's up for much debate, right? I mean,
first game
amongst the old heads,
make $1 billion in sales.
Yeah, nobody can take that away from them.
Call of Duty did, right? 2 months later.
But
you know what? We had our time in the window.
There's only one first, and it was Guitar Hero 3. Granted, they bundled in a guitar, so people are spending $100 instead of $60. But don't think about that. Don't think about that.
Yeah.
So
But people were happy to spend that money. God damn it, that's the
Hell
important
yeah, they
part.
were. It was a phenomenon. Everybody was playing guitar. I remember when I was at Walmart for the midnight release. Where were you when Guitar Hero 3 released? Everybody else?
I was at Best Buy. We had a Best Buy party in Santa Monica on the rooftop of the Best Buy. We worked with Best Buy. We threw a huge ass party. Ozzy Osbourne was
cool.
there. Poison performed. There was a whole bunch of other like rock stars. There was food. There was drinking. It was insane.
I gotta show you this. Hold on.
Oh
boy.
So you're talking about Guitar Hero 3 launch parties and rock stars and stuff. So this is my Guitar Hero 3 demo kit. See, you might not think much of it until you look inside. Give me a sec.
Okay.
He's gonna break it.
I'm not gonna break it. This was from a Guitar Hero 3 launch party. This was one, I believe, at a GameStop that Joe Perry was at. This guitar, it's hard to see in the plastic, but this guitar is signed by Joe Perry of Aerosmith. There was like a small contest held at this place, and there's photos of him at the event signing these faceplates all everywhere. So that's my little piece of memorabilia from a Guitar Hero launch party. Anyways,
and I love that faceplate too, because you don't get to see the Guitar Hero 3 emblem logo on the faceplate very often.
That was my favorite part about like the demo kits, man. Like I cherish that. I cherish the emblem on there because I was like, that's sick. And I had it for like the Guitar Hero World Tour one as well. And so kiosks were just a huge staple in the community at some point. Especially when I was like getting into streaming and making content too. I was like, I got a kiosk guitar. These are the best ones. It's completely different now. But
they were the best. That's true.
Yeah, they really were. But yeah, that's crazy. In Santa Monica, just a big ass launch party. So much it was literally just like a big rock star get together. In October 2007, a couple days after before Halloween. It was when I got the game.
Oh, yeah.
I got it on Halloween.
It was the 27th, right? October 27th, I believe was the date. Yeah.
My birthday.
Yeah, Ruben.
Happy birthday, JP.
Wow, thanks.
Happy birthday. But yeah, I did want to talk a bit about that, that early chart of Through the Fire and Flames that was recovered on there. And you're right. The Red Snake was intact from day one, or still was. In that build, it was specifically still there. But the largest standing element in the room was right before the solo happens. It was climactic build-up. There's like this disgusting orange wall. Instead, in retail, it goes orange, yellow, green, yellow, orange, yellow, green into the chords. But instead, it's this extremely fast, like, I don't even know. It's like a zigzag on top of an orange wall. Like, you're theorizing, like,
think of Cliffs of Dover, but like 10 times as fast.
Yeah, I was like, Cliffs of Dover at like 400 speed or something like that. You know what I mean? I was like,
so I don't know exactly. There was a point though where I wasn't working. I requested different splits of the stems at some point. I remember this, right? Because I was a big fan of Dragon Force, and I really wanted to separate out like Sam and Herman's like parts. And it could potentially be that I was just tracking what was essentially at that point delivered to me a mixture of two guitars playing at the same time. And then when it got split out, I was like, oh, now I'm just hearing one guitar, so I retracked it. That's possibly what it was. But I did for sure at some point or another go to the audio guys and like, hey, I got this idea. I want to do this thing. Can we do this? And like I got them stuff, and that's why. And I'm not 100% sure because I didn't get to sit down with Herman Lee or Sam or anything and be like, hey, who played what parts so I can name these sections appropriately? I just kind of fucking guessed, right? It could be wrong. The parts I have, like, because like, I believe in the co-op they're named different, like Sam Herman, something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if I got that all correct, right? I just kind of was. I was like, YouTube was very fledgling at the time, and before Guitar Hero 3, Dragon Force was just kind of random fantasy metal band. They were rad,
Yeah.
but they had not blown up into what they did after that, right? Like, they definitely exploded. I think that we can, Neversoft can at least take a little bit of credit to the
Absolutely.
to the
100%,
success,
man.
not the success of Dragon Force, because again, I don't want to understate their pure
But
raw
like
talent
exposing
and skill,
exposing
but the
them to
exposure
a
they
more
got from it was
mainstream-
insane.
A
Yeah.
more mainstream audience, right? And in regards to, it's really interesting because like I'm a charter, right? So like I've charted a bunch of songs. I've charted Dragon Force. So like I know what's up. Like you're listening to this shit and you're just like, what the fuck are they doing, right? And so there's a thing that like people dubbed the Sam Totman trick, right? And it's occasionally it's like hard to explain. They'll do like the insanely like fast tapping that we pretty much chart as trills, right?
Yeah.
They're triplets, but we chart them as trills because charting them as triplets would be horrendous. So what Sam Totman, from what I understand, like loosely what he does is that he uses like a delay pedal to like double his notes, right? So he plays at half speed. So I wouldn't
Some
be
Tom Morello
surprised.
style shit going on.
Yeah,
up in
exactly.
here. Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if what you're saying, if Sam Totman played the part, right? Like it wouldn't shock me at all. Just based on, and I learned that from a Half Duck video actually. Shout outs to Half Duck about the Sam Totman trick because he covered the Cry to Eternity solo and he uses the Sam Totman trick to play the trills, which is really cool.
yeah, because those are insanely quick.
Yeah.
It's super quick.
It's extremely fast. Yeah. So yeah, because with the Orange Wall, like I guess like what I was wondering is like, you know, like the vision for the chart, right? Like I'm sure that you started out with like an initial vision for Through the Fire and Flames, and it definitely as QA was given, right? As other people looked at it and told you like you might want to change this, and you know, again, just having charted songs myself, like I could definitely be hard-headed about certain things and be like, I really don't want to change that. I really like how it is. They're like, yeah, but like it sucks to play. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to change it, right? Like, did you have moments like that in general where you were like, I really don't want to change it, but like, you know, maybe I should.
There's a hugely iterative process, absolutely. And I'll be the first to admit, when I went into this stuff, I had no vision. Like every song, there was never a vision. Like I was just getting in and feeling the jam, right? Like when I got hired at Neversoft, I was the oddball. I was this little country farmer, 22-year-old kid who just loved playing rhythm games, and learned how to do MIDI programming for fun just a bit before that in GH2 to make songs for me and my girlfriend, now my wife, but my girlfriend at the time, to just kind of play together, like Jack and Diane, Journey, Don't Stop Believing, like just
Yes.
stuff that we love to
classic.
kind of listen to together and
Do you
play.
still have those charts?
They're on YouTube.
Do you still have the chart itself?
I don't actually have the chart itself though. No.
Damn,
I bet you-
that'd be
I bet
some
you
deep
Elliot-
lore.
Nah, I bet you Elliot might have him or something. Don't
Elliot
give
might
up.
have them. They were on
Yeah.
Score
They were
Hero.
on Score Hero?
Yeah,
they were on
Oh,
Score
they
Hero.
may
Yeah,
still
gotta,
exist.
absolutely.
gotta ask
They
like
may
Jay
still
Siri then,
exist.
bro. See, he's got access to like the database snapshots from 2007.
That's true.
You know what I
That'd be
mean?
sick.
That
Yeah,
would be
they
absolutely
might
incredible.
still exist. But what was I saying? Shoot. Oh yeah. So it was a hugely iterative process, and I contribute a lot of why a lot of my songs were like, to me, being more of a gamer than a musician. A lot of the people that I also worked with were and still are extremely talented, amazing musicians. Like one dude has toured with all sorts of fucking people, like super famous people like Don Henley and all sorts of
Don
crazy
Henley.
stuff.
Sorry,
I mean-
we don't like Diane around here. Copyright.
No.
No judgments. But
So say
like
his name again.
there are a
His
bunch
music
of
is
crazy
fine.
good
I don't like him as a person.
musicians, and I was coming in as this guy who could barely play guitar, a little bit of piano, violin, trumpet, but nothing crazy, right? Like I didn't understand music theory, and I'll admit, like if you look at Poison, so the first song I did was Poison's "Talk Dirty to Me," and there's some
Okay.
triplets in there, which I think to this day are still off grid. Like they're not exactly on a pure true tempo map triplet grid, because my dumb young ass didn't understand what a triplet was or how to track it on the thing, right? So I was learning this stuff as I went. with putting these things together. And so for me, a lot of what it came down to when making a note chart wasn't necessarily a vision. I was just sitting down with sections at a time and just thinking, what would a fun rad pattern be that's going to make me feel like a rock star, right? And I gamified music, and that's just the way I looked at it.
Yeah, that's the whole point of Guitar Hero. I mean, that's the ethos,
really
right?
is.
Yeah.
To make music fun to play when you're not actually playing the music.
Yeah, and so I think the biggest thing I struggled with was gamifying for lower difficulties, because I kind of became so obsessed with Expert. I wasn't able to really look at, and I could do it great now. Like now, with all of the design principles I've learned and all this stuff over, almost 20 years of making video games, sure, I could go back now and make really fun, engaging, lower difficulty things. But at the time,
but it's not what drives you.
Even then, I knew it would drive me now. It definitely wasn't driving me back then. Like, it was very elitist. I was super elitist, and I was actually hard to work with sometimes. And I got into some trouble
that's
for
being
being
charter, baby. That's how it is.
Okay, so did you make the Flames hard chart on GH3? Did you make the hard chart?
Yeah,
for Flames?
I did. If somebody worked on a chart, they worked on the entire suite of that chart. So I did from easy all the way to expert. And the Flames is a good example of where it's like I would have done things very differently on hard and lower. Hard is like an Expert Plus song for Through the Fire and Flames. Still, it feels like if I look
hard
at it
is still
now.
very hard. It's
still
interesting ways to
chart. It's a weird ass chart. I'd say it's like, it throws out all the fundamentals of what you know about Expert, because it also was FC'd after the Expert chart was FC'd.
Yes, this is true. I was going to throw it out there.
No, you know what? It was FC'd like 6 months after the Expert chart was FC'd.
That's crazy.
Partially because it is genuinely hard, but partially because it's not the expert chart. And that's the iconic big one everybody's playing.
That's true.
People don't want to play it. Yeah. But yeah, no. I think what we had thought in the beginning before we had you on was just what was it like just seeing I'm Christopher Live just take the crown and just FC the song out the gate. Not June. It was January 2008. So,
no.
Was it January?
It was. I think it was June 2008. June.
It was later than that. Yeah. It was later than that. It wasn't that fast. It wasn't that fast.
I'm confusing it with Jordan. My bad.
But dude, it was crazy. All of that shit was crazy. It was so weird. Like, I knew this thing was going to be huge. I didn't realize how huge it was going to be. And this probably almost sounds stereotypical for anybody who makes anything that all of a sudden blows up to be what was literally a cultural phenomenon. Right? Like, I'm going into stores, and there's kids just lined up to play the demo kiosk for Guitar Hero. And I'm not going to lie, I would also go up there and grab the guitar, start playing a little bit on Expert, and then I'd turn around, start playing without looking at the screen, because I fucking memorized everything.
And
people were like, whoa!
I made this chart.
Yeah.
I did.
I would never tell anybody.
I
would never tell anybody what I did. No, I wouldn't do that. I always thought that was weird. I'm actually still grappling with that whole thing. Like, I feel weird telling people I worked on Guitar Hero and I'm the Through the Fire and Flames guy, right? And all that stuff. I don't like to brag too much. I like to brag about my my gaming skills and stuff like that, but like my work accomplishments and stuff like that. It always feels weird to brag about.
Yeah, because like you have to find the right context to bring that up in, right? You can't just be like, hey, by the way,
there's almost never a right context for something.
Like imagine just approaching people. Imagine just approaching people, be like, I charted Through the Fire and Flames. You're like, fuck you.
Who are you? What are you talking about?
Or when the times I have done that, they'll be like, okay.
Yeah,
sure, buddy, whatever, buddy.
Send me
whatever.
Your
what's your League of Legends rank?
Guy.
What's your league rank, bro? I'm silver.
What are you, bronze?
Hey, you know what? It's not iron, bro.
High silver, low gold. High silver, low gold. I'm nestled sweetly on that bell curve.
Who do you main? Like, these are the real questions.
But no, I don't know. It was weird, and like I think the weirdest moment for me was there was an episode of Oprah where some kid went on and played Through the Fire and Flames on Oprah. And that shit just blew my mind. I was like, my game is on Oprah. My work is on Oprah. Maybe it's Ellen. Maybe it was Ellen.
It was the Ellen kid. Yeah, it's this kid that looks just like Alec. Actually.
No way.
Looks like...
It was for disclaimer, it dead ass is not me.
Dare I say, it almost looks more like Rosie.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that's
my daughter.
Yeah, it
It
kind of
looks
does.
more like Rosie. Yeah, like what the hell? Oh man, they made him play the PS2 version.
Yeah, bro's on the PS2.
He's on stage. Dude, I had so many people asking me in my YouTube comments if that was me.
I believe it.
I was like, no, that
Dude, the
that
way-
was not me.
The way he's
racist.
strumming is like so interesting to me, right? Like
He's
got
a
the
small child.
showmanship.
He's rocking it, dude. The
He's
kid's
got the
rocking it.
showmanship, man. He's a rock star. He nails that intro.
Dude.
And that shit
A comment from
blew
Messiah
my
28.
mind.
15 years ago, this kid is missing everything. Hold on, I gotta get a screenshot of that shit.
Uh-oh, I just unearthed some fucking aside heat right here.
15-year-old comment on that fucking
5 years
video.
ago. Is this a sign?
That's so funny. I don't even remember making that comment. I'm being so real.
Of course not. Why would you remember that? And then, of course, I'll get you more context. There's more comments that follow it implying
my
to me, of
God.
course.
How old were you, Asai?
I 15 years
15 years
ago,
ago.
I was 13. I was 13 years 13 years
13.
old. Yeah, and so
You're
there's a lot of
talking smack on
There-
some
there's
fucking
there's a lot
9-year-old
of
kid having a
envy
good time.
and jealousy coming out from me because I was like, I'm supposed to be up there probably. That's probably
could be
where
doing
it
so
came
much
from.
better.
Hey,
than
hey,
him.
hey! But here you are on Twitch now. You got all these awesome followers and viewers and stuff like that. So you
Damn
Yeah,
know,
but
right.
come on, he
it
didn't.
came.
that
It
kid?
came.
He didn't
No,
win.
it's-
He didn't win a car like Hell Ashes. It's not the same, you know.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
it's true.
It's
This
true.
kid ain't got
It's true.
nothing. Where's Ellen nowadays, huh? Answer me that.
She's still Ellen, so
Yeah, Ellen's Ellen.
Ellen's still Ellen.
Does she? I thought her show was done.
It is.
done.
It is
I
done,
think
but I
it's
mean,
done.
still Ellen. Like,
Yeah,
she made all that fucking money
Like,
already.
she still
Like,
exists. Yeah.
Yeah, because like
Yeah,
see,
well,
back
she
in
does
the
still
day,
exist.
back in the day, being on Ellen's show meant you were on
Huge.
top of the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere, even with the existence of the internet, you're
Yeah.
on Facebook. You're getting shared everywhere. Everyone
I
knows
hope
who
that
you
this,
are when
like-
you're on Ellen.
dude.
Like that was the platform. You know.
Oh yeah,
It's like-
This kid-
and then
this
and then
kid's
and then
parents, you
South
know?
Park. We're on South Park that year
Yeah.
too. Like,
Dude.
it was like, what is happening?
You
We're on
are
Ellen. We're on
the-
South Park. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it was crazy for me. It
phenomenon.
was absolutely weird. It was weird.
Yeah, that must have been like, because like I'm very much in that field, right? Where like people compliment my work and stuff. Like I don't know how to react, you know. Like I'm just like thanks. Like I'm glad you like it. Like I tried my hardest on it. I'm glad somebody appreciates it. You know. Like I think that can go many ways. Like I think that like being a streamer like Alec, like the fact that people support him. I'm sure that you have those moments where you're just like, why do these people support me? You know,
Well,
like
what is that thing that just like it was like a bunch of Getty images of celebrities holding up the Guitar Hero guitars or like the Guitar Hero kiosk or whatever, and there's like J.K.
Dude.
Simmons and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, holding
Yeah.
the Guitar Hero guitar. Like we just recently found this, and it was
Ooh,
like
this used-
something that
So
happened.
this used to be a thing. I don't know if it still is or not, but it used to be a thing back in like the early 2000s, where essentially they would have like in the green rooms behind like big events, like game developers would pay a fuck ton of money to have like a little booth, like section there, kiosk or whatever, and then have like celebrities like kind of take pictures playing their games and whatnot. Like you could find all sorts of random things from the early 2000s, Dreamcast games, N64 games, PS2
Yes.
games, where you have celebrities like just like standing there playing games. I don't know the full history behind it, but that was a
That makes-
thing back then.
That was
makes
just
a lot of
marketing. Hey,
sense, like-
look at this guy. You know, he's playing this thing that you should buy now,
Victoria,
please.
Like, hey,
Victoria Justice.
Yeah, here's Victoria Justice playing Guitar Hero 3. Here's George Costanza playing GameCube. Here's The Rock.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah,
famous guy,
playing
please
Xbox,
buy
you know what I
product
mean?
now.
One of the-
That
Right,
was
yeah,
just the thing.
no, bad timing for that one. You know what I mean, though. It's like it's
One of the things with the Victoria Justice one is the faceplate on the guitar. It was like that Microsoft Xbox 360 faceplate, right?
I don't think I've seen this
right.
picture.
Yeah.
I
Victoria
wanna
Justice
see this
Guitar
picture.
Hero.
do we want to
Oh,
put it in
shit!
guest room? Put it in guest room because I don't know if Chris can
Wait,
actually see
can you-
this other. Can
Yeah, you
Chris,
can. You
can
can
you
see,
open the
you
chat?
can see the general stuff.
Yeah, I looked at the video that was linked already.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
forgot about this faceplate.
Dude, we
I don't remember
never
this
seen
photo.
one of these in the wild.
What the
Ever.
fuck? There's
I
more
forgot
of
about
these?
these
Seen one of these in the
faceplates.
wild.
I thought this was just from like that one Bill Gates presentation or
Nah,
whatever, bro.
dude.
I didn't.
Like they made these like
What the
and
fuck?
we never.
I'm gonna
never
have to
seen
hit
many
up
in the
some
wild.
people. I need one of these. I'm sure.
Yeah, I
I'm
need
sure
some of this shit, too.
somebody at Activision
Yeah,
somewhere has
you
one
could
of
probably,
these still.
You could probably find one. I'd be willing to bet you could probably find one.
I have made
eyes,
public outcries saying, "Hey, I want this faceplate. I collect rare faceplates. I have one here, actually."
It's such a good looking faceplate. Like it looks really good, right?
Yeah,
Like
they have
is from the
elite-
Craig
Dude,
Ferguson
what is that?
show.
What's
Whoa,
a
what the
double
fuck?
Pioneer TV setup? What's happening?
That's crazy.
Dude, they have
I've
the
never
dance
seen
pad
that
right there
one.
too. I've never seen this.
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
the
this
direct
was,
TV box below it too. Yeah,
Oh,
what
shit,
the
they
hell?
do.
That's
This is some
sick.
back room. Yeah, but this was on eBay not that long ago from a different developer.
I'm so jealous of that.
that was
fucking
on-
pickup, dude. That's
This
nuts.
I forget
his name, but
name.
he was on the Guitar Hero podcast as well. The from our friends over at the Guitar Hero podcast. ran by,
Oh,
like,
Kyle
Oktoberfest.
Johnson, maybe? Because I know he was selling some of this stuff.
Me and
It
JP
was,
spoke to this man. We spoke to him. We were guests on that podcast.
Alex Ortiz and Mike Ryan.
Ah, okay,
Alex
that makes sense
So,
because they
Ale-
were
yeah.
they were actually Red Octane.
Yeah,
Yes.
So that they had way more access to the peripheral side.
yeah.
of shit.
Alex
Yeah.
Ortiz has
Alex
like
Ortiz
a bunch,
is awesome, man. I miss that guy.
Yeah,
I
he's a
haven't
cool
seen
guy.
him in
He's a
almost
good
20
dude.
years. He's
Like,
awesome.
he has the same Neversoft one that you do. The Neversoft.
Oh, yeah,
that
the,
faceplate
yeah.
is cold as fuck.
The devil lady one. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that faceplate.
It's a
I think he
nice
was selling that.
faceplate.
I think he had that one up for sale too, but it was like $300. I'm like, that's a bit much
Yeah.
for me. So
You
I
know
didn't buy
what?
it. But I
You
would
know
have.
what? I've been wanting to ask this. It's like, as time went on with the series, and the interest the interest was still there, but it was slowing down too. There's lots of kiosk stuff that was popping up on the internet randomly, like stuff that was actually never used in stores. One notably being like the Guitar Hero 5 kiosk guitars. I have never seen one in the wild before
Because they're only
but I
in the
kept
UK
seeing them.
and
Oh,
Europe.
they're only in the UK. Okay,
Yeah, I got one over there, bro. You want
Yeah.
me to grab that one too?
I was
like
gonna.
this guy.
I was
He's got my addiction, but for a very specific thing.
Yeah.
exactly. This is only a portion. Everything else is in my closet over there that you can't see.
I wanted to ask if there's any like promotional stuff that was made for Band Hero. One of the last
Man,
things that Neversoft
I know they did
worked
a
on.
Taylor Swift
Of course they did.
Faceplate.
faceplate.
I got
Yeah,
it. in
yeah.
the
That
other
one.
room.
That one's
I
super
have it.
popular among collectors. Like it's the tail. We call it the
T-Swizzle faceplate.
We call
T-Swizzle.
it the Tay Tay.
The Tay.
Oh, you say Tay Tay.
That's
Yeah.
also good. That's also
Yeah,
good.
Fire Exit Man came up with that. I think he was like, I have the Tay Tay Ta. He's British.
JP,
Oh, that's
I-
funny. I know where this picture was. These pictures were taken, I believe.
Yeah, I have a. I recently found my Taylor Swift guitar, and it was
yeah?
fully custom painted by this company called Evil Controllers, and I won it at a Guitar Hero officially sponsored Guitar Hero tournament in 2010. Or maybe it was like early 2011. But they were just passing out Taylor Swift faceplates and all that stuff. But and I have a Band Hero magnet. It's like the Band Hero logo. It's on the side of my parents' fridge, and it's been there ever since. Ever since I got
You're
it.
taking
So
that
it's-
back with you.
No, I'm not. It's staying there.
I'm saying there. It's like it's got its own designated like God, what do they call that when the government steps in? Like, no, we can't demolish this house. It's
Sacred.
got,
So,
yeah, sure. We'll just say it's fucking sacred.
Yeah,
It's
sacred,
fucking
yeah.
sacred.
If you remove it,
Alec,
I mean, I have
whatever's behind that
some-
magnet's going to be a different color than the rest of the fridge. It's going to be discolored everywhere else from the
I
years
have
of
some
wear.
stuff like that. Like I think there's like you said magnets. I have some pins and like
Well, I just got
sweatbands and stuff.
I got
like
reminded
that,
of this.
Oh
So
shit!
This is a. This
Are
I
those
bought
playing
this.
cards?
No,
That's a
dude,
USB
it's
flash drive.
It's a
Flash
USB
drive.
flash drive.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's a war. Yeah. So this I bought this from
Oh, I
Alex
used to
on
have
his
that.
eBay. Yeah, I bought this off Alex's eBay.
But actually,
it
the
had-
things I used, I lost usually.
It had promotional material on it from Warriors of Rock, but that was it. It also had the mobile version promotional materials. So
That's
that
so
was
funny.
interesting.
I remember
Yeah,
that.
So yeah, this thing's
Chris, what's the coolest thing in your
Why?
collection of Guitar Hero memorabilia?
Fuck this thing. It's a. Sorry, what's that?
What's your favorite piece of Guitar Hero memorabilia that you still have today?
looks like you got a lot of stuff down there.
Oh, all right, hold up.
See, I have to say Guitar Hero memorabilia because you have a large video game collection behind
He's
you
got
that
a
is
bunch
not
of
Guitar Hero.
memorabilia.
Got what
It's
looks
so
like a
clean,
Nintendo Switch
too.
kiosk.
Man, I want a
Yeah,
Switch
Switch
kiosk.
kiosk.
That
I've
looks
got-
so crazy.
I've got 3 rooms full of shit. That's all video
man.
game stuff.
My man. My man.
Indeed.
Like I said, as soon as I got into a bigger house, I was like, yeah, here
Fuck
we
yeah.
go.
Time to start
Time to
collecting.
start stuffing it up, baby. Let's
when are you gonna buy a Guitar Hero arcade machine?
It's already been something
I'll
I've been
shoot
looking
both
at
of
for
them.
quite a while.
Hell
Oh, so
it's
even Chris Vance is on the hunt, man. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
But I don't want to spend too little and get a crappy one, but I also don't want to
Exactly.
spend too much.
Yeah, you gotta be
All
careful.
right,
'cause
so my
those
favorite
things are
thing of
Ooh.
Whoa.
The Bowie
That's
knife.
awesome.
Neversoft
What?
Bowie knife.
The Neversoft Bowie knife. Always
Hard.
hard. Let's go!
the nice, I wasn't actually
Oh,
able to
man.
make it. This was handed out to all the current employees and people that were past employees that went to the last party they did before they shut down the studio. I was in rough times at the moment trying to find a job. I actually was in Wisconsin, Chicago, sorry, interviewing at NetherRealms to work on Mortal Kombat 9? 9? I think. At the time, so I wasn't able to make it. So my buddy grabbed this for me. This one is actually really special. As you can see, maybe, the tip is bent.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joel Jewett, the guy who started the whole company, this was his Bowie knife. He took it at the end of the party and slammed it into the wall and left it there. And my buddy, being the guy he is, was just like, oink.
Yeah, now.
He's just like, whoop, this one's for Chris.
I love that there's a
Chris
cool
stole
story
it.
for
But
it.
but
too.
it's got a
Goods.
story with it, and it's like,
Yeah,
that's
I
not
love the
really Guitar
story.
Hero, though. So I think I got one more thing for you here.
I
Let
mean,
me
that is
see.
pretty fucking awesome. I won't lie. I love that.
Here, I'm gonna grab some while he's not looking. Hold on.
Run, run, run.
Where the hell did I put that, though? I'm not gonna look too long. Like I said, they got like fucking way too much shit I'm trying to sell. All right, here we go.
The endless
I was gonna
cycle of
sneak peek.
collecting. Buy too
Yeah,
many things and say,
I buy massive lots,
Yeah.
That's
and
the
then
way to
I
do it.
keep what I want, and then resell the rest.
Smart.
Such
right.
is life. It's what I do.
Fair.
This is probably my favorite.
Ooh.
Oh, dude, huge ass banner.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. You see, like in stores and shit, like the GameStop.
Oh,
hanging up?
this was
so
this
big.
was actually only made for E3.
Ooh,
I don't
really?
know.
Yep.
I do not know if there is another one of these in existence. This might be the only one.
Man, that's crazy.
That's
Yeah,
really
I'd
cool.
have it on the
Insane.
back. I'd have that in the back, just chilling.
I want to, but I want to like nicely frame
get
it
it,
and
I
like
get it.
preserve
Framing
it
that would be
first before-
expensive.
I know, hence why it's still rolled up and fucking in storage.
You have to go to like a carpenter and just be like, "Hey, yo, can you just make this frame like really nicely? Make the glass like
Yeah.
this dimension straight up." Oh man,
Or I
Well,
will
I
sell
mean,
it for $2,000.
Speaking of frames, Chris, perfect
I have
segue
that.
into frames.
Are,
I
you have
one of
this too?
those.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, where are you on this?
Shit.
You can't really see with the glare and stuff.
I tried to sign as many as possible. All right, hold on. There's Stephanie Baird. There's Lee Ross.
Yeah, I think Lee Ross might have got that on there twice. Can't show you that much because of the glare and all that, but
I
there's
can't.
Leviticus up there. Brian Bryant.
I love Ickes. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. I don't see me on this one, unfortunately.
I couldn't find you either, but I thought maybe it'd be a gibberish one.
It would be a gibberish one, that's for goddamn sure. If you could send me a picture later of it, as I love how Ickes, like he's a UI designer. I love how he always signed his thing with the fucking rock meter. He
there's a rock
always
meter
wrote
right
his
there.
rock meter on
that's
there.
so cool.
I love
cool.
how he always, that was his calling card. It was his signature. It was so cool. I love that man.
All right,
So that
Back
I
to
guess
brass tacks.
I guess Rock Meter, that reminds me of the different UI elements in the Guitar Hero 3 beta. So the Rock Meter, for example, the strike line. That strike line was legendary, right, in the community, the old strike line.
yeah, I
With,
like
the
it.
Yeah,
I,
because it looks-
I loved it
looks like
so
our
much. I
first
recreated it from
videos.
scratch so that I could use it in my game. Because I was just like,
Why-
that's so
why
cool.
was that-
why did they?
why was
did
that
they get rid of the
Yeah.
little internal colors? But as UI
I don't-
design goes,
Strike line. I don't know what you mean by that, actually.
The frets, like the gems.
smashers.
Like,
Oh, gotcha,
the
gotcha.
smashers. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pistons.
yeah, okay. Were they that different?
Yeah.
Here, I'll link a video for you again. It was the very first thing I ever linked up there was a video of me comparing both the release chart and the prototype chart of Guitar Hero or Through the Fire and Flames. So on the left, you can see that the prototype one is slightly different than the final one. It's more dark in the middle, and the other one, the prototype kept its color in the middle of those smashers, which I think I do prefer the prototype one over the final one personally.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed that. I mean, in game development in general, we do a thing where we constantly are doing usability and user tests, right? So we'll put the game in front of anywhere from 20 to 1,000 people, right? And they'll sit down over and play the game, and then they'll fill out a big ass survey. They'll get paid a couple $100 and they'll walk away, right? But we take all that data, I digest it. We have data scientists analyze it, and maybe a lot of people played it and were like, you know what? I'm actually having a really hard time figuring out what to do here because there's just one solid color. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe they're like, hey, it's just all blending together too much because it's a solid color and I don't know what's going on. I'm losing track of the buttons as it comes over the top. Don't know. I don't know why that changed, but I'm sure there was. I'm not sure, but there's probably a data science reason behind that choice.
Yeah, surely.
That's super interesting.
So we're starting to get low on time already, but time's been flying. We're having so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try to get through a few more questions quickly about the prototype. In the files, there were a couple of songs in there that were not in the final build, as well as a few Guitar Hero 2 songs, which I'm sure were just used for testing. But Master of Puppets was the big one. We got to finally see the Master of Puppets chart, the fabled Master of Puppets chart. That was apparently
it was honestly
a
really
favorite
good for
around
the time.
Around the office.
It was honestly really good, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it was one of 3 people, I think, that did that. It was either Randy Giote, Alan Flores, or God, what's his name? He's the head of all of the audio department. Oh my God, I'm so sorry if you ever watch this and I'm blanking on your name. I love you.
He'll never watch.
Yeah, it was one of those 3, most likely, because there was 3 tracks made before, when they were just prototyping out the game and fully building it. It was that, Crazy Train, and another song. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was Cult of Personality and Living Color, right? So that one actually kind of made it through. Yeah, the other 2 made it through later, into the next game.
Yeah, just not the first
right?
game.
Or the next 2 games or 3 games, I guess.
Yeah, World Tour.
Crazy Train. I didn't know Crazy Train was originally conceived for GH3 or
It was retracked by the time we put it in the game. We had done a retrack of it, so it's not. I don't think it's even close to the original track by the point we shipped it. But it was one of the first ones that they really wanted to do.
So now, would Crazy Train? So I guess that's another question that I had mentioned to the guys. So we found out about Unchained and the fact that there was a wave group cover. Did a chart for that ever exist?
Yes.
Okay.
The hunt continues.
I am almost 100% positive that a track for that existed. And I do remember, I'm not sure if I'm 100% correct on this, but I almost felt like the game shipped with it on one of the consoles, hidden in the data.
Not a chart.
Maybe not, because at this point you guys would know. Oh, the audio was there, but not the chart.
Audio was there, yeah.
Gotcha.
We have the audio.
Because I remember legal people at Neversoft pulling their hair out and being like, "What the fuck did you guys do?" Also, if I remember correctly, somebody put the decryption code for the key for the audio in a string inside of the cover.
Yeah, that's a bonehead move.
Everyone was just after ship, we were just like, what happened? But you know what? Honestly, when you are tasked with making a game in less than a year, essentially, accidents are going to happen.
So crazy.
There's going to be mistakes.
This kind of shit happens in game dev all the time. Stuff gets left behind quite often,
Yep.
But yeah, so I guess Unchained, we if an even earlier build comes out, we'd have a higher chance of finding it there because
probably not.
No,
probably not. I don't think it was. I don't think it was ever. I never played it. I don't think it was ever in a build. I never played it.
Which means that Crazy Train probably wasn't either, right?
No. I played the Crazy Train track when I first started.
Ooh.
So that if you can find a really old build, that might actually be in there.
Hey, anybody watching this may or may not have a build of this, send an email to us at loreheropodcast@gmail.com. We'll keep you anonymous, and we'll get you all hooked up. All right.
It'll be
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was probably gonna do the same segue as you. You know,
and I have nothing to do with that.
No, Chris Vance is
For legal reasons, I have nothing to do with that, and I am not affiliated with that.
Well, you
unaffiliated
cannot have
entirely.
anything to do with it. However,
speaking
do
of
have
other
bills.
things. Speaking of other things you're not affiliated with, and we can, if we don't want to have this in here, then we cut it out.
No, it's fine. I didn't steal these. IT put them in the box
Nobody
that
stole
they
anything.
handed
I mean,
me out of
you
my
just-
desk and said bye. So they were just
you
there. And I was
found
like,
a
all right,
picture
cool.
of these. You found a picture of these, and
No. I openly admit I have these. And if Activision wanted to be like, yo, no, that's not cool, I will gladly give them back to them, right? But I enjoy just kind of having them. I'll never share them with anybody. No offense to any of you guys because of obvious legal
no,
reasons.
we wouldn't want you to. We want anything problematic to happen to you. That's okay.
But it's enjoyable to have these things for me. Like, they're just little memories of, like, so I played every single one of these discs, right? Every single one of these discs at one point is a snapshot in my life of me testing the work that I did. So it's nice to have them.
I guess the interesting one is the Guitar Hero 2 one, because you said that you didn't really have a reason to have that because you didn't work on Guitar Hero 2.
No. So we could still play Guitar Hero 2. We could still reverse engineer Guitar Hero 2. Reverse engineering is completely legal. And I had to sit down with lawyers and tell them all the things I did because I came from the custom community building customs in Guitar Hero 2. And if many of you don't remember, you probably do, at one point, Harmonix and EA, I believe, and EA, or just Harmonix, sued Activision we think that you used our source code in the game sort of thing.
I think
right?
I remember vaguely hearing about that.
It is public knowledge. It was just not a big, because nothing came out of it because we did not. Right, we didn't do it, and like they were like, okay, cool, you didn't do it, end of conversation, right? But like it was one of those things where I came from a Guitar Hero 2 background, so I had to be talked to, and like they had to ask me like how. I was like, I'm not a C++ programmer. I never actually got into the code base of anything, so I don't know. When I first started at Neversoft, one of the first things, because I was one of the best Guitar Hero players they had at the time, I definitely was super. People did way better. There's so many better players than me. All of you sitting in front of me are probably way more godlike players than I ever was. But
at the time,
there weren't that many good Guitar Hero players. At least the internet was in its infancy. It was hard to find them, right?
Yeah, especially not on the inside, or at least making their way to the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have Score Hero, and that's where I came from. I came from the Score Hero community, and what they used me for was just essentially testing. Like they were like, okay, sit down with Guitar Hero 2, and I sat there with a couple of other people, and they were just like, okay, hit the notes, hit it early, hit it late, and like they were just like essentially doing timed measurements of my input presses to see like what the windows were, right? What the timing windows of acceptance and lack of acceptance was.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was fun. It was a very play the game, get to know it, because we were tasked to make a game that's a sequel to this game, but we can't use any of the code. So we had to
learn
literally
the game.
learn the entire game and figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that not only did we learn the game, but we definitely, and I'm not saying this because I worked on it, I'm saying this as a rhythm game player and somebody who played hundreds of hours of Guitar Hero 1 and 2 and somebody who's in the custom community, we made a better game than Guitar Hero 1 or 2 ever was, right? And that was awesome. It was a lot of fun, and it was from our blood, sweat, and tears and reverse engineering the shit out of stuff.
I mean, given all the circumstances, you really knocked it out of the park, for real.
And I think this is also a really cool, pivot from this, because Jason can make it here, but he was wondering what you think of the whole landscape of Fortnite Festival, and that bringing back the genre, the feel, all of it of Guitar Hero and Rock Band, and also that has literal people from Score Hero working on that game as well, which is incredible.
That's awesome! I didn't know that.
Yeah, rhythm authors.
Love you guys. keep the dream alive.
Like ELX is working on it,
and Freak.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So we're nice. We're bringing up. These are old school Score Hero people,
bro. They're
right
in my stream whenever I play Festival. Like they are awesome dudes. And
Yeah, because they
just
work
come
on the
through.
songs every week, and
Like-
then Alec plays them every week, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna love this one. Oh, wait till he sees this." They're talking to
Wait
each
till
other.
you see it, man, and I'm just like Carry On Wayward Son dropped, and I freaked out because it was so sick. Like, yeah. But yeah,
So
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Just to answer the question how I feel about it, I love it. I downloaded it instantly. I cannot wait for like I don't have a guitar for like to play it, so I've just been using the controller. I'm waiting for that somebody announced a super nice guitar. Like I'm gonna drop
The
some
Riff
G's
Master,
on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
the box that
Oh,
you see right there, and the
Is
JP.
is it out?
Yeah.
We
got
have
it-
early
got it
ones.
early.
You got early ones. Gotcha.
It should be out at the end of the month, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Like as soon as that shit drops, I'm buying 3 of them, right? Like me, my
Hey,
wife,
limit
and my
2 per
son.
customer.
Like,
I'm not joking.
oh, you're not joking. Fuck.
I'm not joking. You can buy it from your second retailer.
Yeah.
Gotta go somewhere
You'll
else for that
figure
third
it
one.
out. You'll be fine.
Sorry, son. Mom and I are playing guitar.
You get the controller.
But
yeah,
but I think
you can learn.
they did a great job with it. I think it's very fun. Bluntly speaking, I think that it still gamifies it maybe a little too heavily. I don't know if that's because a lot of the reliance is on controller rather than having a dedicated peripheral, so they make a lot of those inputs easier and a lot of the things easier.
They have a rule set. Like there's illegal chords. Like you can't do like a blue orange chord because like they don't want you to fat finger
You're
two
pressing it
buttons
the
and
same.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, I completely get the reasoning for it. I'm just hoping that if like maybe they can detect the guitar or something, be like, hey, have a little more fun, bro. They won't do that, obviously.
They are.
Oh, they will.
Literally
Oh,
are.
well,
Yeah.
that would be awesome then. Perfect.
So
That's great.
Every
like
single
2 weeks,
song
bro.
in the game, every single
In 2
song in the
weeks.
game has its own separate chart that is a more traditional Rock Band Guitar Hero style chart. People
Awesome.
have been able to extract the MIDI files and play them in Rock Band 3 ever since launch.
Awesome.
We haven't touched them, but people have been doing that. So
That's
it's going to be
fucking
just
hype.
like Rock Band 5 essentially.
And the quality of the charts is like we're calling them the plastic charts essentially. Like they're really good. Like Rhythm Authors is like because they have old people from Score Hero involved, but they also got people from like Clone Hero community and like Custom Song Central that working there. Like shout out to Dijubes, right? A CSC member. Like so they have a bit of a modern touch now too. To bring in like these,
It's
these
kind of like the modern
standards.
version of you, bro. Like,
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
just
Like,
repeating.
Bring
it's
in
like
the next
a-
generation.
yeah, for real.
History repeats
Yeah.
itself though. Like you
Hell
were
yeah.
brought in because it's like oh, this guy's an expert on customs. Like he knows what's good. And like the same thing happened. Like this person is an expert on customs. Let's bring them in, and and everything's being like redefined. Like thanks to Clone Hero, the advent of Clone Hero and everything, right? And so it's awesome to know that you think it's cool because like
I fucking
it
do.
is cool.
And now
Yeah.
with this extra backstory, like I think it's even fucking cooler, right? Like hiring
Get
from
hyped.
your
It's
community, hiring from people who are passionate about your work, about the games that you make and about the things that you do. Like it's becoming less and less common. The industry, like I'm going to go into a tiny little tangent here for a second.
Do
for
it.
But the industry has become more and more about like what have you done, not what can you do, right? Like I would never in today's industry ever have been able to, as a 22-year-old kid, I don't think gotten into what I'm doing now, right? Like I don't think I would have gotten that chance, even though I worked hard for it. I would have needed a college degree and like a whole bunch of other stuff to be able to get my foot in that door. I was still lucky to get my foot in the door when I did and where I did. And huge shout outs to the people who took a lot of big chances on me. Like they told me we're taking a big chance on the farm boy, right? Like they knew they were. And it feels like, and I try to, my hiring methodology is I would rather take a passionate person that has a fuck ton of like things in their portfolio that have never been publicly released with a game studio, but show that they're passionate about making games, they're moldable, they want to learn, they're hungry, than somebody who went to college for 8 years and got a master's in something and has nothing in their portfolio to show for it, right? But that's not always the case anymore, and it's a little more rough, right? Because it's, I don't know. That end rant.
Well, it brings me to a question I've been wondering.
You know, I don't blame you. Like video games just are different compared to what they were almost 20 years ago. So
Yeah, big time.
And 40 years ago.
And 40.
Nobody
yeah,
went to
exactly.
school
Even
for
bigger.
this shit 40 years
Nobody went to
ago.
school for this
No,
shit.
there was no
Definitely
school.
didn't.
There was no school. So, question: what are you doing nowadays, Chris? You're still in the games
Yeah,
industry.
let us know what you're
Yep.
doing.
So I am working with a large, talented group of people that I've actually known for a long time on something I'm very excited about. The company I work for is called Escape Velocity. I am a lead combat designer on the project. I can't tell you too much more at the moment, but we are well funded. I'm very excited for what we're going to be able to show people, hopefully in the next coming. I don't even want to give a window there, but hopefully soon. And it's not a rhythm game. After Guitar Hero, I learned that nobody wants to hire people that make rhythm games, except for people that make rhythm games, and it turns out there's not many of those people. So I had to learn. I had to like
Diversify.
I had to diversify and lean into my other favorite thing, which is like multiplayer games, shooters, MOBAs, and that. So I've been mostly for the last 15 years or so working on those style of games.
Yeah, I see you on the website. A lot of people on this team. A lot of people.
Absolutely. It's a very, very, very talented team, and they've worked on a lot of great games. Everybody here is insanely talented and insanely passionate about what we're doing. It's exciting. This is one of the first times I think since Guitar Hero where I'm looking at a game that I'm working on and been like, I actually might have something here. Like we actually might have something here. This game, awesome. I look. We have a culture of play in our studio, and it probably says this right on the website. Like we play our game 3 times a week as a company, and then my team we play the game 5 days a week. Like and I look forward to every single playtest. It is so much fun. There's so much shit talking. There's so many like just divergent things that happen every time. We've been working on the game for a long-ish time now, and it's still not old. In fact, it gets better all the time. That sounds like it's a person that's really hype on their own work and stuff, and it's partially true.
No, that's good.
But I'm trying to look
if
at it.
If you weren't hype on your own work, I'm not interested in playing.
And there's been many
Yeah.
projects I have not been hype on my own work. There have been many. Like it's a
what it is.
paycheck, and I'm doing this job as best as I can. I'm not trying to sabotage it. I'm working my ass off, but it's just not there for me. I'm not feeling it. Not this game. I am feeling the crap out of it. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna have to keep my eye open for this because now I'm very interested too. Given how passionate you seem to be about this.
That's how
Yeah, no kidding.
you know.
And also you talking about you being hyped about a game. I remember a little hero game that you were hyped about making. One of the last ones you made. Once again, I'm bringing it back up. Band Hero. I got this list of tracks right here. That these were supposed to be in the second game. Of number 2. And
some of these I remember. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, if we could talk about it, or if there were even.
You know what?
like,
I'll give you guys
more.
10 more minutes. I had a hard stop. I'll give you guys 10 more minutes. Let's talk a little more.
We did it. We won him over.
You got me.
I knew if I brought a Band Hero, he couldn't refuse.
I do love Band Hero.
Yeah,
it's always
dude,
been and I used to say guilty pleasure. Now it's just my pleasure. Fuck it. Like I used to be such a hardcore metalhead. Now I'm like, I love all music. Like I don't care what it is. Like it's just as long as it's good. Yes, Chef Kiss. And Band Hero was definitely that for me.
I'm playing that shit tomorrow on stream. My chat's gonna be loving that shit. They've been clamoring for a Band Hero playthrough. I'm like, fine, guys, fine. It's never been my cup of tea, really. It's a fun game, but like you said, metalhead, just been enjoying that type of music, and this is like the exact opposite of it, But regardless, continue on what you're saying with the.
No worries. So, what do you want to know about this?
So, like,
how much of Band Hero? Hold on, real quick. How far in development was Band Hero? 2 before it got canceled.
Not far. We were picking set lists at that point. I mean, to be fair, we were shitting out Guitar Hero games every 6 months, right? Like, we were. Like, and some of them were full reskins of, like, what I'm going to call them reskins, right? Because we're using the same engine, but we're obviously still always iterating on the engine, trying to make... And you saw that throughout all of the games we made. We were always adding new features, always smoothing out the edges.
Especially Van Halen. That's a super weird one.
Van Halen is such a
Well, that was not designed or developed by us. We
Yeah,
did not
yeah.
do
You
Van
guys-
Halen.
it's still the most
You guys
unique
were
one.
working on GH5 at that point.
Yes, that's
Right.
right. Not
Yeah.
that I'm saying we didn't do that. It was bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we did not work
I
on that
mean,
game, so
yeah,
I
you
can't
couldn't
speak
speak
to
to
it.
it.
No,
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak to the work that was done there. Right.
But yeah, I say this because like, how many of these were like locked in? Like maybe it wasn't locked in, or was it just like
That I
a
don't know.
discussion? A discussion.
I wasn't
just
involved
like,
in
okay.
that. Yeah, I wasn't
see.
involved in that. I was involved in like, so they reached out to all of us note trackers. Like they were like, hey guys, what do you guys want to see in the next Band Hero? And I mean, the shit we came up with was like a lot of this, right? Like, but my still favorite one that's not in this list you sent me, and I swear I'd already said this before, but what's that song with the yodeling?
Oh yeah, Hocus
Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
That's so funny.
We
We talked about this on the
wanted
podcast last
Hocus
week.
Pocus.
Yeah,
We
you said,
wanted
you said
it.
in my stream chat, and I was like, no shot, you just dropped that
Like
right
to
now.
the point to where we reached out to them. They didn't have the masters. We couldn't do it. The
Ooh.
masters just
Yeah,
didn't
man.
exist anymore.
That-
That's
that
what
happens.
they may
happens
still exist.
sometimes, yeah.
They may still exist. They might have found them in the because they get lost, they
But
get
at the
found
time,
again.
yeah.
They're in storage and whatnot. Who knows where they're at? But at the time, the masters we were told did not exist. So we were just like, no, we had a note track for this. We already note tracked on every instrument. Hocus Pocus. We were fucking
The
ready.
live version,
Like-
the live
like
version,
the
or
live
the
version.
studio version.
The live version.
So what? You just
It was the
what,
live
you just
version.
like
Yeah, because that's the one everyone
Yeah,
loves.
that's
That's
the
the
one.
one that
Yeah.
went viral. That's the one that went viral on YouTube
Hey,
in that time
Lord Hero
frame.
Podcast at gmail.com.
That would have been
Jason's
the
gonna-
craziest
Jason's-
vocal chart.
Jason's gonna
Send me,
freak
send
I
me that
don't-
wacky
I don't think
.zip
so.
file.
I don't think anyone's gonna have that one.
So did you just
That's on
did
an
you just-
Activision hard drive somewhere.
Did you just download like a
What's
shitty
the address?
MP3 and like we're like, oh, we'll just work with that? Like,
I mean, it
Is
was a
that
lot
it?
easier back then off YouTube to just download like the audio off
Yeah.
of YouTube, right? Like, so we
Yeah.
would just
that's why GH2
get the
Custom
FBI
sounded like they
away
were
from us for a
underwater.
moment here.
Yeah.
We would just rip the audio off of YouTube and then just work on it.
I
and
mean,
find
like,
MPs or whatever.
That's very clearly what happened with Master of Puppets and Guitar Hero 3. That shit was ass.
Yeah, that shit was crispy, and that shit sounded insane. That shit sounded like a microwave. But yeah, no,
It's underwater.
bringing that up. Also, I remember us talking on the other podcast about the just the custom song repository within Neversoft.
Yep.
About there being a official
Thousands.
Neversoft chart of
thousands
Full
of
House.
songs. Yep.
Thousands of songs, dude. Thousands.
We
Like,
did
what-
it all the
what's some of
time.
your
We would
favorites
just
off of there,
do
man?
random we would just do random expert tracks of whatever we wanted to at the moment. When we added microphone to the game, one of the first things we did was Barbie Girl by Aqua. Right? Like that was just
Dude.
one of the first things we did.
Oh,
Like,
and
once-
it goes
once-
full circle. It's in Fortnite now.
It's in
man.
Fortnite,
Like, that's
yeah.
sick.
Yeah, that was one of the first things we did. And so what I love. And it still brings back really bittersweet memories for me because my best friend in the world, Jeffrey Ankle, he also came from Score Hero. His name was Orange22222 on Score Hero. He released he did the whole Blue album from Weezer on Score Hero.
Oh, man.
He passed away sadly. I think 7 years ago now. Maybe it was November 2017. Yeah, it was November 2017. He always had a fun personality. He always loved to rock it out, but he was always silly as hell too. And just one day we came into work, and he's like, "Hey guys, I got a full band setup. Let's go play." And we just went up to it, and then we were just playing fucking Full House theme song, and we were just like, "Yes." This is.
I love that that was just the
Guitar
culture.
Hero.
Did you
Culture,
guys
man.
bother placing like events, or did you just like track it and that was it? Like in terms of like
Oh no, we would just do an expert track. We didn't do anything
Yeah, that's
special.
what I
we
figured.
just dumped out a
Yeah.
track and would move on with
because
our lives.
well yeah because that was all that's always been the MO of customs,
Yeah,
like
you just want to play
at
the thing.
heart. Yeah,
But I mean,
and
not
that's it.
not to shit on all the great work that I've seen a lot of come out of your community. It's not like you guys just pump out of an expert track and you're done. That was Score Hero days. That was
Yeah.
back in my day. Nowadays, you guys got full on ass productions going on with your work, and it's like, god damn! Oh my god, it's so cool.
I don't know how people do the full difficulty stuff because I did full difficulty once and I was bashing my head into a wall. Like
It's
was,
hard,
like,
man.
because I
It's hard.
I wasn't getting paid like you were obviously, but like yeah, it's tough because like you do expert, you're so attached to the expert chart. You're just like, man,
because
I
that
don't
is the
wanna
chart.
do
That's
this.
what they're playing, you know.
That's
what
it.
And then
they're
you have to
playing.
start
But then
dumbing
you
it
have
down.
to the dumbing it down. See, that's where it's like I used to look at it that way too. I used to say it that way, but I don't think dumbing it down is fair. What you're doing is you're making the game accessible and fun to everybody.
Yes.
And you have to look at it that way, right? You
Yes.
have to look at it like not like, oh, I have to now neuter my track in order for other people to play it, but more, I am going to try to find ways to make this track enjoyable for any person who can touch it and touch them and make them feel that happy feeling that the expert players play. Right, and it's not
It's a much
something
more
I
positive
grasped.
outlook than I just put out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not what I used to feel when I worked on
Yeah.
especially Guitar Hero 3, my first game. I didn't feel that way at all. I was hardcore elitist. Like expert guys are the only people that matter. And nowadays, like the video game, like the true blossom video game developer in me is like
I
I
can
want
see
to make
why.
an experience
Yeah.
for every single person. I want them to enjoy my work. No matter who they are, no matter how good they are, I want there to be a way for everyone to be able to get in and enjoy and play the game.
I can totally see why, like, that would, and I'm sure honestly that, like, the people working on Festival from, like, Score Hero, even Daijubes from CSC, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they've also adopted that same mindset.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because it's like, it's kind of like, you kind of said it, like, it's like the bigger picture, right? Of, like, pay attention to the audience and who's going to be playing your game and the accessibility. Like, you want everybody from all walks of life and all skill levels to be able to enjoy your game somehow, you know?
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, look at the demographics, right? Like, how many people are expert players, right? Well, a lot. Sure,
A lot
if you were
more
to
than
just say the
before.
number.
Nowadays.
Yeah.
If you were to just say the
Nowadays.
number, a lot of people. But, like, especially back then, like, expert players were
Oh, no
probably
way.
like 5% of the player
Yeah.
base, maybe 10%. And then
I mean, that was like one of the
easy
bragging
and
points in South
medium.
Park. Is like he can beat the song an expert, and people
Yeah,
are like, "Whoa,
yeah.
he can
He
beat
could
the
reach
song
the
an
orange
expert."
button, you know, like that.
He
was
can
cool.
use
That was a
that
big
man
thing at
knows how to
school.
use his pinky. Oh shit! But yeah, it's my challenge to you is like if you make charts, like try look at it that way rather than looking at it like you're bastardizing your child or neutering it, dumbing it down. Instead, what you're doing is you're just making your track more accessible to more people. You're giving yourself the ability to touch more people and it's essentially grab more of a following. Right, as a tracker, you can get more people interested in your work if more people can touch it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good philosophy.
That's solid advice, I would say. CSC, if you're listening, I still don't like doing full difficulty, but maybe we can change our minds.
Well, now the thing people are asking for is AI lower difficulty, but I don't think
I've
that's
been asking
probably-
for it
Dude,
a
we
while.
tried
I
to
have.
do AI auto tracking
automated,
back in
yeah.
2007. We did. We tried it. We tried to figure out a way to analyze the wave patterns, but then we were like, nah, this is garbage.
It's just, yeah.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
I
no.
bet it wouldn't
Well,
work
that
for a
exists.
game that
Yeah.
work for a game that like relies on pitch and relative. You know, it's supposed to be like for a guitar controller, like maybe for a game like Stepmania or you know something else that where it doesn't really need to actually
Yeah,
follow
Guitar
the beat
Hero is
or
just a whole different beast.
scaling or anything
altogether.
like that. But
A lot of it's
Yeah.
just up to your interpretation of the song too, right?
It
You
really
can't
is.
just say like, there's no hard and fast rules. It's just whatever fits best at that moment, so you
Yeah.
can properly train like some
I
sort of
would say that,
model.
like,
it's the vibe.
Hard-
Yeah, it's vibes.
hard is like
Yeah, like I
hard
said,
is,
I
like, the
didn't
most
ever have a
challenging.
vision for any note track I ever went into. It was just, what's the vibe? Like, what do my fingers feeling this, you know, like when I'm playing this thing? Oh, okay, all right. Because I wouldn't like track the whole thing at once. It would be like measure by measure sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? The
And
best
I
part
like
was
how-
you figured out a verse though, and then you just copy paste it into all the
Yeah,
other
dude.
verses, and you're like,
No, but then-
yes. Oh,
No,
but there's
but
this
then-
tiny fluctuation. Fuck.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. And I like
Unless
how
it's
you
closer
said that,
by Lacuna
like,
Coil. Sorry.
Unless it's closer by Lacuna Coil. The biggest copy paste I've ever done in my entire life, right there.
Dude, there's like 3 sections in that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Copy
just like
paste it
how
over
you
and
said
over
the
and over again.
elitism thing because like when I started charting I was definitely elitist. Like I have no problem admitting that. Like I was like I mean Alec can tell you like the first chart I sent him had like 4-note chords. Like it wasn't tempo mapped. Like it was a disaster, right? But he was like, I mean, this is all right, but like, you could fix it a little bit. Like that's basically the advice he gave me. And then
Yeah.
What's a tempo map?
Yeah, I basically
back
that's
in
what
my
I said. I
day,
was like,
nobody had a temple map.
Nope.
It was
No.
the
In the
wild
Guitar 2
fucking
early
west.
customs?
It was a wild west. I was one of the first
120
people to do it because I was like, oh look, I can
120
actually
BPM.
like do a
I can line
metronome
it
and
up
do a
with the
tempo.
lines.
Yeah, I
You know
can
what?
actually just do a tempo. Nice.
that actually, I guess this is the last question because we know you have to go. But you just made me think of this.
I'm gonna give you guys until 10:30. I already messaged my wife and she said that it's fine. So
Okay,
Damn, we got so much extra time.
Not
Okay,
last question, but this is a question that I just realized might be good to ask. So,
okay.
Historically, Guitar Hero really never had anything beyond /4 time signatures, right? So, like, what was that like having to, because you see something that might be in like you did, I think.
Did we
maybe
not have
GH5?
anything proggy with with?
Well, you had to increase the BPM to like emulate like /8, pretty much. I think like Purple Haze by Jimi Hendrix Live is like a perfect example. Like the BPM goes insane at one part because it's
that might have been true. That does sound familiar. Yeah,
I think that part, if it was
you guys, I think, are
really,
more the experts at this point than I could ever be. Like you guys have done so much research into this.
We're more fresh on
I
it.
guess, yeah. But yeah, it was just like Master of Puppets. Like I think you guys only had /4 time signatures in Guitar Hero Metallica. Still, you didn't have Hopo chords either, right? You didn't have Hopo chords.
No, because those were Guitar Hero 5, right?
Yeah,
Guitar Hero 5 introduced the standard at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I forgot how you charted the Master Puppets thing for Guitar Metallica, like what the time signature change was for.
It's probably just a really high BPM in a 4 division.
It's either a really high BPM or a really low BPM. I don't know, because I just played it too.
Oh yeah, it might just be a 2/4 that goes duh and then back in the
so
4/4.
The other thing that might be the case is it might actually be tempo mapped correctly, but the highway doesn't necessarily know how to deal with those tempo changes outside of fast mode changes.
A ton of lines,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
So this
I'm
is
not
how
sure.
it happened. I'll get a screenshot for you, but it is like you got a whole measure of like 4/4 at like 200 something BPM, and then it goes to a measure of 5/4 at 378 BPM. That's just to make everything line up right.
That's trying to emulate 5/8, most likely, is what that is. It's trying to emulate a 5/8 time signature.
I watched a video on somebody like breaking down that section of the song, trying to figure out what time signature it actually is, but it's something incomprehensible. There's like you have to get some sort of decimal point in there or some shit.
That section has been it's been a debate. It's been a debate for a very long time, even outside of Guitar Hero. Yeah, very long.
There's
debate.
a lot of contention. There it is just like a whatever the word is, like a non-time signature. Like there's no time signature. They're just playing off feels. Like they didn't write that shit
off of vibes.
With they're playing vibes.
Hey,
that's what they're doing.
Yeah, we're just doing what Metallica did. We're just vibing.
Yeah, exactly. And you had Metallica vibe with you. Hey, did you ever get to meet any of the folks that were working on those band games, like Metallica or Aerosmith? Anybody?
Yes, I got to meet a lot of people in some capacity, one way or another. I think the first person I ever got to meet was Tom Morello, but it was just kind of in a passing through the hallway. Hey, and I was like, I don't know who this guy is, because I actually had no clue who Tom Morello was at that point. It was only later that somebody was like, "Hey, that's Tom Morello." I was like, "Oh, who's that?"
One of
the guitarist for Rage Against the Machine. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Back then I was like, yeah, whatever. Now I'm like, that's cool.
He has a kill switch. Neat. Okay.
And then I also got to meet Ted Nugent, for better, for worse.
It is an experience.
Yeah, it was an experience. I was the only person in the entire studio who wanted to actually spend time with him in the mocap setting. Because being from Michigan myself, I was like, hell yeah, it's the Nuge.
It's the Motor City Madman.
It's the Motor City Madman. And honestly, after that, I was just like, okay. This guy's personality for me is not for me, right? I'm not going to go any further than that. I don't want, some weird, all of a sudden, defamation fucking salon.
Ted Nugent fan club is now on your case.
Yeah, it's just...
all 13 of them. Look up Ted Nugent 13.
It was fun, but let's just say I wouldn't do it again.
fair point.
Then Taylor Swift I got to meet her. I got
That's
to
crazy.
Nowadays that's a flex.
Nowadays,
big
that's
time.
crazy.
Actually, yeah, I got to meet young Taylor Swift, who back then, which was a big deal, but nowhere the deal she is these days.
Now,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
Yeah.
it's been incredible watching her growth. I got to play on stage with Ozzy Osbourne and Sugar Ray and Travis Barker and I said Ozzy. There's one other person though. I can't remember
Zach
the other
Wild.
person. Fucking, but
Did
you know,
you meet Zach Wild?
yes, I did meet Zach Wild. That man was a character.
I
Yeah,
bet.
he is.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is,
I actually so Ted Nugent, Zach Wild, they were both in my favorite cartoon ever, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I
Ooh,
actually
nice.
have signed photographs of them. I didn't want their headshots or something like that. Instead, I printed out pictures from that episode they were in and had them sign that one.
Dude.
Sign those. There's been a lot. No Doubt, Aerosmith.
So
I
pretty
would love
much
to
every
say
major
Jimi
cameo
Hendrix,
in the games.
but unfortunately he
Yeah.
was no longer with us.
Yeah.
But
They
yeah,
didn't pull out the casket.
yeah. Oh, come on, come on, man! Not the Hendrix.
They didn't
Not
raise
the
him from the
Hendrix.
dead.
He's
Only in the video game they did.
He's a god.
I bet
Um,
it was really cool to have Jimi Hendrix like in World Tour though. I bet that was like
It was.
an honor,
It was.
you
It
know,
was.
like a big
People
honor.
were fighting to work on those note tracks, like fighting
Oh
each
my
other.
God, I
Like,
bet. Who-
yeah.
Do you know who worked on Purple Haze?
I don't remember. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I only worked on one or two guitar tracks by the time World Tour came around.
Oh, really?
I worked on a lot. So one of the most Metallica's my favorite band of all time. Always has been ever since I discovered them when I was like 12, 13 or something like that. They've just always resonated with me. They've always been my favorite. And 9 months before Death Magnetic ever saw the light of day from everyone else, I am jamming to their fucking tunes, note tracking their songs. I did 2 or 3 of
You got
the
it that
guitar
early?
songs. Yeah.
9
Hold
months.
on.
You got the
Like,
better
the-
mix too. You got
we
the better
had
mix.
to we
Yeah.
got the better mix. We also had to redo the note tracks once or twice to
Really?
a couple of the songs because the songs actually changed. Like
Yeah.
they actually
9 months
re-recorded
before
elements
release, of
and
course,
stuff like
right?
that, right?
Damn.
So that was probably for me the most surreal, incredible experience was being able to solo out and listen to those guys just like do their shit. And yeah, honestly, like one of my favorite modern albums they've ever done. Even then, just because like, oh, okay, like personally, like I love you guys, Metallica. I do. Saint Anger wasn't for me, right? It just
Yeah.
wasn't for me. The trash can snare drum doesn't work for
Yeah.
me. I'm sorry.
No.
But like Death Magnetic, fuck, it was a chef kiss for me. It's like, yes, it's a return back to the thrash metal origins. Like you guys, but you're showing your experience and your age and your wisdom that's come out of it, right? Like it was a wonderful album. I really enjoyed it, and it was just incredible. It felt like I was one of the luckiest people in the world being able to listen to a Metallica album so early in advance and work on those note tracks.
And get such an intimate understanding of each song because you have to
Yeah.
listen to
Because
it
you
over
had
and
the
over and over
stems
again
and
to track
everything.
it.
I mean,
Yeah, the stems, man. Like
So
studio
you're
stems.
Yeah,
hearing
it was
Kirk,
incredible.
you're hearing Kirk and James isolated. You know, like you're getting like the really like the intricacies that they're playing and stuff. Like, you know, I mean,
Dude,
Yo,
you could have
speaking
leaked
of
all that shit
stems-
and been in jail to this
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Speaking of stems, I don't know if it's in the mix for what is it, Stranglehold, right? That was in Guitar Hero World Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it is. I think it's in the mix. It's just really quiet compared to everything else. I swear to God, he yells something. Ted yells something. I don't remember what it was, but we always joked because we couldn't quite understand it. But it sounded like way off in the distance, like he's in the background. He's not in the mic at the moment yelling something, and it sounds like he's saying "fuck my dad." So
I'm gonna have to listen to that isolated
Okay,
track soon.
yeah.
So
we're
we
gonna
had
have to grab those.
we had a bottle of Dad's root beer that we bought at the 7-Eleven, brought it in, wrote "fuck my" and then Dad's root beer,
That's awesome.
and that just became a running joke. And we also, you know the song "Love Is a Four-Letter Word," right? The Metallica Death Magnetic song. We used to say cake was a four-letter word. That was one of our jokes
is.
as well because we
Yeah,
would talk
that is
about
true.
cake being a four-letter word.
Yeah.
We would also throw a lot of other words. The fuck is a four-letter word. Shit is a four-letter word.
Yeah.
There's a lot of four-letter words, James.
Many
We love 'em
four-letter
all.
words, yeah, true.
But cake is the
Too
best.
funny. What did you?
I have a question about stems. Hold on, I'm going to steal this one, JP, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking about stems. obviously, the stems that were included for these Guitar Hero games got leaked. They're out there. You can just go grab a stem of any of the songs that were made. Did that ever cause problems?
Oh, absolutely.
Like legal problems within the departments? Was it harder to get songs because of these stems?
Yeah, notice how the in the later Guitar Hero games they started to add the bleed, right? Like you couldn't just get a pure raw vocal anymore. There would be a little bit of bleed sometimes from the other instruments in there. That was purposefully manufactured, so you just couldn't have like a raw vocal or a raw something else, right? Like that became something that we kind of just had to start doing. I don't think every band required this, but there were definitely bands that requested that, and that made that a mandatory thing.
I understand it.
I had no idea.
Your stems are that very valuable. I never would have thought they would have
you pay a lot
purposely
of money
made you muddy the
stems.
But
a lot of money.
Yeah, those are expensive.
Song.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're
so
supposed
that was absolutely a problem, right? And it was in the early days. I mean, shit, we had just gotten done essentially with fucking everyone signing this big ass fucking petition and lawsuit against Napster and fucking digital music.
Thanks, Lars.
Right? Yeah, that was a lot of fucking people. We can't just blame Lars for that.
I know,
right?
It's funny to blame him though.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny. You can actually draw a parallel to AI now. Right, like we're seeing a lot of the same things. Like the music industry again is going out, and like a lot of top bill musicians are signing petitions against AI and trying to stop AI. And I'm not sure, like if it's just short-sightedness again from the music industry and like saying, hey, this thing it's going to hurt us, when in reality it helped a shit ton of musicians, like with MP3s and digital music and whatnot. Now, I will say that they're all still being royally screwed a lot of times. They're not making the money they could be from platforms, but at the same time, it's helped a lot of other people gain a lot of success too. And it's always been the case, almost always, that tours are where the musicians make the most amount of their money.
Yep.
So getting more people out there to notice you is great. And like, so we're seeing that with AI now, and I'm not taking a side on the fence. I just thought it was very interesting to kind of see that parallel. It's like I lived through the Napster incident. Now I'm living through the AI incident. Like, where's this one gonna go?
And we're gonna continue living through this AI incident for a very long time. I feel this is gonna be.
I use AI.
Our new,
I do.
Our life.
It's an interesting tool.
Some way.
It makes my life. It
Yeah.
makes my job easier in a lot of ways.
Shit, I
right?
think we're all using AI right now for background noise removal in our mics.
Straight up.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just things you don't even think about. It's just AI. Yeah.
So,
it's just being smart with it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. I was gonna ask. I don't remember if you did this on the Guitar Hero podcast, but like, did you talk about like what you tracked in like other games, like Metallica, for example? Like,
thing is, brother, I did not do myself a favor. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. That's fair.
I
that's
really
fair. I mean,
just
you worked on
remember.
You worked on a lot of games in a short amount of time.
We made 8
you know?
games in 3 years. Like,
and not to
it was
mention
never
that,
stop. It was just
not
go.
to mention, that like Smash Hits was handed off to Beanox, right? And then Van Halen. Who did Van
Halen as well?
Underground development.
Van Halen was the guys who made BMX
I thought it was
XXX, bro. Z-Axis, Underground Gaming.
Okay.
It was Underground. Budcat did a lot of the PS2 and Wii ports.
They did.
So they
yes,
probably did a Wii
that's
port
what they did.
That's right.
And but I mean, because like I always found it interesting in Metallica how like one was like so. Well, I guess one was different from GH3 first of all because you guys had extended sustains at that point, so you're able to do the intro. Right?
We had
But,
more
like,
tech. We could do more
you
things.
had more tech, but changing the ascending triplets to descending triplets, right? Like that always interested me in the first, like the fast solo AI, I guess you would still call it.
I don't know what the reasoning or I mean, I think they are technically descending triplets in reality, so that might have been why. But
Kirk plays them so fast that I think it's like he kind of alternates between ascending and descending without meaning to. But I think you're right; it's intended to be played descending. Like that's the intention. Right?
Usually triplets are descending in music for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes they're ascending.
Yeah.
Definitely in that song, I've always myself played them descending. Maybe it's just because descending's just easier for the brain. I don't know. I'm probably talking out my ass with the usually too. Hey.
I mean, I think you're right.
Like, but super
though.
Fast, like hammering. It almost feels like it's always easier going down than going up, right? Like
it is.
It feels different.
Definitely is. But yeah, like the change, just because, like, I mean, people saw descending triplets in GH3 and they were like, oh my god, this is like so hard. And then people saw it in Metallica, they're like, oh my god, it's so much easier. But then you have tap notes, and Alec.
Those are
I know
broken.
Alec had a really hard time with that.
They're
song.
just broken. They're busted.
Hey, we're
Yeah,
making
they just
we're
don't
making this really cool, awesome feature for you guys to
Yeah.
do it easier. Oh wait, no, it's harder. Sorry.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh, we
Take
have this
it or
cool
leave
new
it.
little slider bar on the neck that you guys. Oh wait, why aren't you using it? You guys aren't using the slider bar. Why aren't you
Oh
guys
my
using the slider
god,
bar?
don't even with me on that shit, man. Don't even with
The
me on
slider
that.
Okay,
bar
now I'm gonna.
Like-
What's the deal with the slider bar?
It was
So,
supposed to
like,
be better. It was
was supposed
That's
to
what,
be
that's what
better.
Alex Ortiz said, and then they said it's too expensive. You got to make it cheaper.
Yep. Like
Okay.
the early prototypes we had were sick. Like, and then the
That's
thing
what
we
Alex
shipped
Ortiz
with
was selling.
just-
Dude,
Yeah.
that's right. He had a prototype
He said it was
guitar
actually
still.
really
It-
good.
It was a Les Paul with a slider bar attached to the neck that he was selling on eBay for like
Yeah,
however
like
much,
they
$1,000.
literally
Yeah.
cut out, like they just literally cut out the neck and put this extra like stuff
And
in
thank
it.
Yeah, as a
God,
prototype.
I got
Yep.
the Strong Museum of Play in Rochester to buy that guitar, so it's in a museum now.
Yeah, it's a
Somebody
museum
somebody send me Alex Ortiz eBay because I might need to just buy a bunch of stuff from him
Yeah.
that's still on there.
now. Well,
hell
so
yeah.
right now
Hey,
it's pretty
hey,
much empty.
Alex.
I went and looked.
Hey Alex, I want to drop $1,000 on you. Call me.
If he ever has, there is one more thing of Guitar Hero stuff on his website right now. That is a Guitar Hero portable folding speaker. Rare! Exclamation point! Exclamation! Exclamation point! I don't know. This is probably like some sort of.
I remember these.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
I've never seen
Yeah.
this before.
Yeah, they were made for the DS for
Okay, I can see
for
that.
for
Oh, that's
playing.
what he said.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
that's
what he
right.
said.
Yes, dude. Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah,
you see
they're
the DS
they're
is
made
the
for the
fifth
Game
picture.
Boy.
See the
Oh,
DS
yep,
in the
there it
fifth
is.
picture, dude. That's great.
Did you have anything to do with any DS games?
I did not. I had tiny little bit. The only thing that I did was they gave me a prototype version of the peripheral in the game, and not just me, several other of the Neversoft note trackers. And like, hey, give us your thoughts, give us your feedback. But that's literally about it. We had to play it for a little bit, have some fun, and I had fun with it. I was like, hell yeah, it's better than the mobile version. I didn't have fun with it.
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
those things are
No
huge.
offense to any of the developers who worked on it. You were working on goddamn archaic technology.
On a
Jay-
2007 Nokia, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, like God
man.
bless you for even attempting.
There's
For what it
there's
is,
actually
not bad.
there's two GH3 demo kits on eBay right now. But
Dude, there's been like an explosion of Guitar
they're
Hero like
vastly
kiosks and demo
overpriced.
kits
one
on
is,
eBay.
One is $350 and one is $400. Those are overpriced by a lot.
Yeah, I know. Like it's insane that there's more of these things still coming
Is that
out.
overpriced? Like
I
I
think
pay
I
that
pa-
much.
I think I paid.
I paid
I paid that.
125 for
I
my
have-
Joe Perry signed one. I got it really
Yeah.
cheap.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
just,
say,
I just straight up bought like an unopened one for like $300 in like 2018. It's fucked up.
You know,
But I had
the
to do
prices are getting higher
COVID
nowadays.
also blew up all video game prices
It did.
in general.
It
Yeah,
really
right?
did.
Like,
It
the
did.
last
Really
the
did.
last 3 or 4 years has seen a huge uptick in all video game collection, not just Guitar Hero, but like all.
It's
It's
definitely
starting to go back down, thankfully,
Yeah, it
because
is.
my
Which is
wallet
great.
has been very sad. But
Yeah, it's like not
My wallet was
easy
sad for a while. It took a
anyone.
lot of money to get all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
it's
mhm.
not easy for anybody to get into Guitar Hero who's even a little bit curious. But no,
It's not,
thankfully,
man.
because
no,
again,
it's not.
Because of like Fortnite Festival, now we have Riftmaster coming out. You know what I mean? And so,
Yeah.
who knows if like Xbox is listening and looking, or they are listening and looking.
I think they
Hey,
are, man.
Xbox,
I think
make
they
a
Hey,
new
bro.
Guitar Hero, please.
Yeah, do it.
do it,
Do
You got
it.
the
Do
guy.
it.
Yo, you got a guy
Shia
who
LaBeouf,
made
or
the
whoever it was.
did the cultural Shia LaBeouf.
Was that Shia who did that?
Shia, he did.
Is
do
it the
it.
one that
He
did the
thing.
Let's Do It?
Oh yeah, that was definitely
Do
Shia
it.
LaBeouf. In
Actual
the
cannibal,
green
Shia
screen.
LaBeouf.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was Shia LaBeouf, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hire my man Chris.
Phil Spencer, please make a new Guitar Hero.
He
I
better
don't
do
know.
it.
I don't know, man. I would love, like, if there was any other company or game that I was working at, I probably would jump ship in a heartbeat to do that. I really believe in what I'm doing right now to the point where I'm like, I wouldn't do it. So
Hey,
don't do
that's,
it yet. Wait until later.
Give it
until-
a little bit. Give it
Give me
a
a couple
2 or 3
years.
Who knows?
Yeah, give me like 5 years to, enjoy what I'm doing and like really like just kind of, be ready to
I-
move on to something different.
Well,
I
hey,
think that-
be the change you want to see.
yes.
Yeah?
All right,
Why
you know
can't
what?
you just
I'm
go do
launching.
it?
I'm launching Unreal Editor right now. I'll just make a new.
Yeah.
I'll just make a new rhythm game here on the spot. Hold on.
I think-
Hold on.
I
I just
think
gotta
that,
tighten
like-
up the graphics on level 3. Hold on. All right.
It's working. It's working. I think that once they see the reception, the plastic instrument mode in Fortnite Festival, that's when they'll start seriously considering it. That's just my opinion.
I think it's going to be a big success. The plastic instrument mode.
You know, Chris, I'm sure back then, you know, obviously you didn't work for Red Octane, but guitars are fucking expensive to produce. It costs millions of dollars. Like it is not as simple. Like, you know, this is much smaller than and not to mention Guitar Hero 3 comes out and people are like, the frets are dropping, the neck's not working. What's happening? Because they cheaped out on the connector on both the Les Paul and the Kramer. You know?
Yeah. I remember a lot of that. Yeah.
And then they fixed it on World Tour Beyond, but like, you know, there were
then
some
they had their own set of issues.
There were some
the connector was I still don't know. I don't know what they were planning to do with that, but obviously they were planning something, right? You don't make something that can detach from a thing and connect to a thing without a reason, because it's more
shipping
expensive.
Costs.
Yeah.
So I think Red Octane was thinking about something, kind of like that unused port on the bottom of the NES, right? That never got used, or the Super Nintendo, right? Like they were like, all right, we're planning for the future, but the future never came.
I mean, even
that's the only thing I can think of. Because why do those things disconnect? I don't fucking know.
But it's portable. Everybody brings their guitars to their friends' houses, so it's easy to move. I always thought it
was a shipping thing, because the Riffmaster, it folds for shipping, right?
Actually, that might be it. That might actually be it. Yeah, that might be it, because it's a smaller box, which means cheaper shipping.
Well, they were also able to, because the SG is a smaller guitar, which actually I should bring this up because we're at the end, and I blew Alex mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta go here in a minute.
Yeah.
So let's say in 2 minutes here, I gotta piece.
I blew Alex mind the other day. I pissed off his entire chat. I pointed out the fact that the SG, the strum bar, is off-centered from the neck.
You fucking Shut the fuck up!
No, I'm not
kidding.
Shut
the fuck up! No, it's not.
I'm not kidding.
Shut up!
This is the exact reaction I got from Alex in his chat.
You besmirch the golden SG. Oh my god, it is.
You got my weed?
It is. I absolutely hate you for bringing that up. I've never noticed that before. Holy fuck, it actually is.
It's literally off-centered.
Lord.
How have I never noticed that?
The OCD.
What the fuck? What the fuck? You ruined it for me, JP.
What, dude?
Garbage can.
Alright, gentlemen,
Chris,
I'm going to say my goodbye.
Go.
I gotta go.
Yeah, yes. Outro yourself. Tell us about where we can find your stuff again.
Oh,
what you're working on.
I'm doing now. So you can't really find too much yet, unfortunately. Although,
keep your
hopefully,
eyes
open. Keep your eyes open. We're Escape Velocity, a badass group of individuals doing awesome things. Really excited for the work we're going to be doing. But you know what? Honestly, as much as I love the future, I love the past too. And I'm so happy that there's a community of people. It's kind of weird and awesome that 16 years, almost 17 years later, I can sit down with a group of people that are, they were kind of pooping in diapers when I was becoming an adult, but not probably not actually true. You guys were probably 10 or so, right?
When Guitar 3 came out, I was 10.
I was 12 years old,
Yeah. So that's kind of crazy, right? I was able to touch. I'm so happy I was able to touch so many people's lives and to make so many people happy. That's the point in making games. That's what we want to do. We want to make people happy. We want people to find a new escape, a new place to go to get away from all the bullshit that's happening in the world or in their lives at the moment. And I think the Guitar Hero did a fucking amazing job at that, because it's not just a video game, it's music, and both of those things combined, ever since I played Parappa the Rapper, Guitar Freaks, those were just I fell in love with rhythm gaming right then, and I'm glad to see that it didn't die there. There's still people in love with rhythm gaming today, and they're still going on strong with it. So as much as I've kind of fallen out of that circle, unfortunately, due to being old, and it hurts my wrists now to fucking strum real fast, and it's every year there's a new ailment that's just I can't play DDR. I have the pads. I have nice pads. I tried. My fat ass will die. I tried to drop the bomb. My ass decided it was about to drop a bomb instead. I can't drop the bomb. I can't be for you. Those days are past me, unfortunately. But I'm super happy that other people and those. You probably have to cut that whole thing out because I can see I'm like red line spiking through that entire
I'll make
thing
it
on
work.
Audacity.
Oh, no, we'll figure it out.
You can make it work.
I'll make it work.
We'll fix it in post.
But I
do it
appreciate
live.
you guys. I appreciate everybody. Like
We
it's.
appreciate you coming on.
I'm so happy
absolutely.
that there's still a community for this thing. Like, not many game developers get to say that. Not many game developers can sit down almost 20 years later and sit down with a crew of people that just, not just like have a nostalgic passion for the thing, but still to this day are crafters. They create, they make content, they're doing all this stuff that was started by, not me even, right? Like by Harmonix, right? Like I don't want Guitar Hero to take the credit, or Neversoft to take the credit fully for all the work and not like blood, sweat, and tears Harmonix put in before that. So
Yeah, but
I
you
wanna thank-
continued
I
it
wa-
and it made it as popular
we
as it was.
continued it, and there
we all
will be
still love
people,
it.
hopefully, who will continue it, unlike Guitar Hero Live. No offense again, but it didn't work. Love you guys.
It's okay.
Yo, we appreciate you,
Thank you
man.
so much, Chris, for
Thank you
coming
so
on.
much.
Appreciate it. You want to come
Thank you
back
so much,
anytime?
sir.
Let us know.
If you ever
this is a lot
remember
of fun.
anything,
That was a
needs
lot
to
of
be
fun.
said,
I would not mind coming back again at some point. Absolutely.
awesome.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right, you guys have
All
a
right.
great night. Enjoy the wrap up.
Good
I'll
night,
talk
bud.
to you all later.
Thank
Have a
you
good
very
night.
much. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Well, that was pretty good.
That was
that
really
was
good,
a lot of fun.
man. Yeah,
That was a lot of fun. I think.
He's a- Bro, his
You know-
drink combo was
Yeah.
fire.
I saw that.
Shit was
I
awesome.
saw
Good
it.
Angry Orchard.
No, that's a
you
W
could tell
combo.
as it
I've
kept
had
going. As it kept going, you could tell he was getting a little bit more tipsy, and
Yeah,
he was getting
I
a
love
little bit
it.
more
I
open.
love
and
it,
loud.
though.
It was great. It was great. I loved
Yeah.
it so much. I don't know if there's a whole lot more to talk about. I think originally we thought maybe we'd have to do a little bit extra to reach that hour, but his wife just kept giving him more time. so
W.
Yeah.
White,
so
man.
we're at an hour and a half right now over that. So I think we could probably end it here, unless we want to talk. I'm down to talk.
Honestly,
What
I
would
have
we
really
talk about?
not much to talk about. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think we. Oh God, my Discord just froze.
You're good.
No,
you're good.
I mean having Chris talk, most of that episode is everything that we could have wanted out of that. We got we learned so much about everything compared to just like asking questions the whole time. He was just talking and it was
That's the way I'd want it to
super
be.
sick. Yeah.
I don't want it to just be like a Q&A, It's like, hey, how'd you do this? Okay, cool, great.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy this? Yeah. What's your favorite color? Blue. Okay, great. Moving on. This is we like our more casual conversational style of doing this podcast thing, and that's the kind of podcast I like listening to. So that's the kind of podcast I want to make. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm
Hell
glad we were able to make that work. Sucks that Jason wasn't here though. If only
Yeah.
we could have got Jason here, but timing. It was tough scheduling this. If you guys, of course, you guys don't know. We haven't talked about this. We've been working on this for like over a month. Like as
Yeah,
soon as
this
that
has been-
prototype
it's been a
dropped,
while
you're
in
like,
the
we
making.
got to talk about this with Chris. And then we were just trying to work out dates. We were trying to make sure everything worked and was available. We had one date
We had
set
to
up for
post-
Chris, but then
We had to
then
postpone
something
it.
came up. And we had to. It was something on Chris's end. I think work called or whatever. He had to work late, and then blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and
and
we had
I'm
to
still
postpone
stuck here in
again.
California too, because there's a
Yeah.
big
You've
old
got
blizzard up
funny
in
blizzard.
Maine.
Yeah.
And just to be safe, I extended my trip, just a little bit longer. Just one, so we didn't go back to our home without power. Two, so
Yeah,
I
it
could
would
make
suck.
this episode, and we could talk and have a good time. And so
Otherwise, it would have
glad
been just me and JP.
yeah,
shoot
it
the
would've
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, hey, I might have not been here, man. That earthquake was devastating. I mean, a single chair tipped over onto
Two of
a
them.
table. Like, it was really bad,
Did you
been-
feel
someone
the
from
aftershock?
California, shut up.
I was sitting here like this. I had my knee on my desk, and like my whole basement started shaking. My giant like shelf over here with all the printers was shaking, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, what
no.
the fuck is happening? And I realized
not joking,
Yeah.
like that was probably terrifying, like for your
it was. I
your-
sat
your,
here
like,
for like
printing
I sat
farm.
here for like 5 minutes, just like this, just like staring, like, and I
Fuck
was like,
happened?
Yeah,
I was
man.
like, holy
Good.
crap. And then like
Yeah.
my dad texted me, I texted my mom, my friends are texting me, like, and then I go on Twitter and everybody's like, holy shit, like we just had an earthquake, and people posting memes of like the devastation. Like I said, a single chair tipped over on a table outside a restaurant, right? Like that, like ready? This was the devastation. Like this was like this. That was the devastation from the earthquake. But it was
For you,
scary.
I'm sure
All of
some
it-
people had like damage to their houses and shit.
Some people had stuff like fall off the shelves. I think more people in New Jersey because that's where it was strongest. Philadelphia
Yeah.
got hit a little bit. It was a tri-state area, right? And I didn't feel the aftershock. It's funny because I texted Drew and I was like, "Yo, did you feel the earthquake?" He's like, "No," and I'm pissed because everybody else did.
I wanted to experience an earthquake in my life, but I couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never felt one. Minnesota things.
I
actually looked this up. We do have earthquakes here, but they're very, very rare.
The last time we had one, I was a teenager, so it was probably like 20. I think it was like 2012.
It's a
Coney
while
2012.
ago.
You remember Coney 2012? Coney
Yeah.
2012.
No, please tell me all about it.
Yeah. who made that animation? Psychic Pebbles? Was it Psychic Pebbles?
Yeah.
The Coney 2012. Who works on Smile? Did you guys watch the
Smiling
new
Friends?
episodes?
Yes.
I have not watched
I
that,
watched.
that April
Dude,
Fool's.
You want a link?
Al,
you want a link?
You
I'll
have
get
to
you a
watch
link.
it, bro. You gotta
I'm
see
probably gonna
Gwimbly.
watch it later. I'm probably gonna watch it later. Yeah.
Bro, Gwimbly's like one of the best characters ever.
Dude, the link Wembley just took over Twitter for like a couple days and still is.
everybody's
Everybody's
like,
putting
you guys
Wembley into their
remember-
own games.
Yeah, people are like, you guys remember Gwimbly's appearance in Tony Hawk? Or like fucking, you remember his appearance in Mario Kart 8? Like, yeah, it was really good.
Gwimbly.
Yeah,
Go watch Smiling Friends if you haven't watched Smiling Friends. Pretty
Go
good
watch
show.
Smiling Friends. Somebody made an edit where there's an old episode of Angry Video Game Nerd where it's Bugs Bunny. It's like my favorite episode because he's like, "Holy fucking shit, it's Bugs Bunny!" And then he tackles him. But they made it. They made an edit. They made an edit of Gwimbly, and he's like, "Hey James, you got any cream corn?" And then he fucking tackles him.
I'm so
It's
out of
great.
the fucking loop on this. I've been on vacation and like not keeping up with memes. You know, it's like that's
No,
the
fair.
thing. I've like been unplugged because also I like lost all like data on my phone because I've been out doing so much shit. Like cellular data, not like storage, but
You
like
don't have
I'm just
unlimited
out
data?
doing shit.
I'm
Fuck
surprised.
no, dude, that shit's like $100 a month. Are you kidding me? If it was like both me and Olivia, that'd be like $140 a month. Fuck that.
It's
Hell
it's
no.
less.
Yeah, not
it's
really
less
worth
on
it, then.
Google Fi. I like Google Fi. That's
You know,
what
the
I have.
thing is, it's like since I work from home, I work from home and I don't leave the house a lot. It's like 2 gigs a month. Like that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah,
just use
for you,
Wi-Fi,
it doesn't
so-
make much sense.
It
Yeah,
doesn't make much
Yeah.
sense. But now, like I'm out and about every day for like almost 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
shit.
It's,
I should look at my cellular data. When I used to work like in a real job and had to leave my house, go to there for 8 hours a day, I would never connect to the office Wi-Fi because there was like firewalls on their stuff, so I couldn't access like
Ooh.
Twitter
Yeah.
and Facebook
Yeah, bro,
and
thi-
shit.
this month-
So I was
this
always
month
on
alone-
data.
this month alone.
Holy
is,
crap!
Look at that.
27?
That's a lot. That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
Insane.
I don't even know how to check that. I haven't had to deal with that ever because I have Luna Data.
Oh, look at this guy.
Family plan. I don't pay for it. My parents do, and they have been since I was 12. So
That's a W. Enjoy that.
big
just-
W.
My parents
I
take
just-
me
I
off
just-
of mine.
What, dude? So much savings.
I'm just on my own. My mom, we do that. But I just remembered this is unrelated, and it will come out after this happened. But today's Jay Duran's birthday, so happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday, yo. Jay's the reason
Happy
I got
birthday,
into, like,
Ran.
Today
He's
is
the reason I
today's
got, like,
April
into streaming,
7th. Today's April
Yeah.
7th.
Happy birth.
Today's
So-
April 7th. And
Yeah,
you guys
this will be
hearing
posted.
on-
This will be posted on April
10th.
10th.
April
Yeah.
10th. Yeah, that's right.
And then as of April 10th, there's only 12 more days until Festival Season 3, where we're getting
So what are
strumming
we
in the
gonna-
game. And we're going to be
what are
even
we
more
gonna-
insufferable talking about the fucking
April
game.
22nd, baby. Yeah,
So
you guys don't
our-
like hearing about Fortnite Festival? Ha! Too bad. This is gonna be
Well,
Fortnite
wait.
Festival hero.
Hey, I wasn't yelling, man. I'm just saying.
Hey, bro,
I
listen.
am.
2 episodes from now. 2 episodes from now, we're gonna be recording on 420.
This is true.
Oh, yeah. You
This
know
is
what? I
true.
got to get some weed,
That's
bro.
right.
Yeah, so
I gotta
we
get the fog
we gotta
machine
make that-
rolling.
We gotta make
I gotta
the
get the
episode
fog
super
machine.
special.
Yeah, you know
yeah.
the slurp juice, Fortnite slurp juice THC. I'm gonna put that inside of the fog machine. It's
Bro,
gonna be
you posted
Yeah,
posted that
crazy-ass
shit.
time.
You were like, I'm ready.
I am ready. I am so ready. Oh yeah.
Also, by the time that you guys see this episode, in 2 days, starting Friday, April 12th, I'll be doing my Run It Back Gauntlet on my stream over at a Wise Moose
one
on
sitting,
Twitch.tv. One sitting, kind of. I can't sit down for 70 hours and play Guitar
Try
Hero,
your
so I'm gonna
best.
cut it off. I'm gonna play till I die, and then I will die for 8 hours or so while I sleep, and then I will
more than 8 hours.
raise from the dead. I'm gonna have to
You
cut
know
it
what you
off.
should
I can't.
get? You should get like
What?
one of those under the table treadmills. Like you just like walk while you play.
They're the best, bro.
And like it'll help you get through like GH5.
While
you know what I
I'm
mean?
sitting down, you mean? I just have like a treadmill going and I'm just moving my legs?
Ah, stand
Or what?
up.
No, stand up, bro.
If I stand up, you're looking at my dick and balls. It ain't gonna work.
I'm sorry, bro. You clearly need a wider angle lens. I don't
Yeah,
know
you know
to
what?
tell
Get one of those Samsung 360 cameras. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so you'll just look all
Now that
stretched
is
out.
an idea.
Yeah, stretched
That's
out.
an
You just
idea.
be walking.
Why don't
like,
you
know.
Nah, you gotta get one of those fancy ass tripods that'll track you. It'll like move with you. You know.
Oh,
No.
yeah, the
No.
TikTok ones, man.
You think I made of
Wait.
money?
Well, did you get your chat? Did you work that out? Your chat monitor?
I do have it. I have not worked it out yet. So here's the deal. So I wanted to get a small little monitor. Oh, I'm going to grab it. I wanted to get a small-ass little monitor like this to put on top of my main monitor right here. You can see our reflection in the screen. So I could have this monitor sit here on top of my main monitor like while I'm playing the video game so that I can see the note highway here, and then I have the chat right there. So I don't have to glance over to my other monitor here to read chat. I can just glance my eyes barely up. So I'm barely looking away. So this is just a HDMI monitor. All I'd have to do is like figure out a way to mount it on top of my screen, right? And then it would work. Problem is, I already have 4 monitors connected to my graphics card, and my graphics card only supports 4 monitors. It's not just because it only has 4 ports. No, there's just only 4 displays possible. So I cannot have a 5th display added in any way to this computer, as far as I can tell.
SLI.
So this is a dead. What?
What
SLI?
about
SLI? No, well, I can't. That's the thing. You don't have to SLI, but I could get a second graphics card with a display output. Then I could do it. But I don't have space in my fucking PCI lanes because they're all taken up.
Okay. So if this is just for chat, why don't you just extend it from your laptop, bro?
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing now. So I have my laptop over here. It's always running, and then I'm just
Bro.
gonna have it hooked up to my laptop, and we're good.
Hell yeah.
If you don't have a laptop alongside your PC, you gotta get a laptop. I'm telling you right now because like
You
I've
seriously
always
do.
had a laptop.
It's goated. It's goated.
Oh,
Having a PC here,
Rosie.
laptop over there. Rosie. We got a guest. We have another guest. We got 2 guests in one episode. 3 guests. There's Olivia.
Hi, Rosie.
Say hi.
Hello.
It's me.
Say
your
hello to
uncle,
Daddy's
but not
friends.
Really. I've known
You
you. Since
You don't even
were,
know me.
JP.
Since you were a fetus.
See, you have to say it in the microphone. Say hi, Jake. Hi, JP. You'll hear it in the Audacity recording.
Surely Audacity.
It's really funny. Yeah,
what'd
he
she-
actually. I know. So we got a graceful extension, and we're just wrapping it up here. So yeah, that's what
Yeah, we can wrap it up right now.
we're
Actually, let's
wrapped
get
up,
this
like,
shit
right
on the
now.
road. So,
we're good.
Lore Hero episode 26. Again,
26!
this is our
baby.
half-year anniversary. Thank you. Congrats. Goodbye. Jason will be back next week.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully, sorry he couldn't be here. Thank you again to Chris Vance for being here. It was excellent. Honestly, I'd love to have him back on. That was great.
That
But
was
yeah,
goated, seriously.
see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.